comes the water.
It's another beautiful day in northern Michigan here in the Mayfield Sugar Bush. We're making maple syrup that we do every year here in Michigan. We have a long and storied tradition of making maple syrup in this state. We produce some of the best in the country. This is my father, Bob Gibbs. He and I put this together every year. He's been making syrup in these woods for about 35 years now. I've been helping him out for about the last 10.
Well, this is my 91 year, my birthday is September, but I'm now 90. When you get this old, your brain doesn't start until your feet run, see? So to be active is what the body has to have. We're tight. This one has got 20 trees on it. So it's got the movement.
The season begins in the spring when the ring of leaves or melted snow appears around the tree, which thaws out the roots. That happens because the sun shines on the tree, heats up the bark, melts the snow around it, and once the roots are free from frost, it can begin the process. You could have this happening for 6, 8, 10, 14, 18, 20 days. Some years it happens for 5 days. Like this year, we kind of ramped up right into spring very quickly, and so it's probably going to be a fairly short season. The tubing system that you see out here was developed in Vermont in the late 60s, early 70s. And so that's what most everybody uses today instead of buckets, so you don't have so much labor involved. So it all drains to a tank. It's pumped from that tank up into a higher tank, and by gravity it falls into our pan.
So each bottle has got the first molecule you put in that pan. You just keep rolling it around, see? So we think the flavor, because of that, is superior to the mix, to what you buy off shelf.
The woods is called the bush, the sugar bush, and the structure has always been called the sugar shack because they were always quite primitive. So this one is unique in that it was built from wood that was harvested just for this purpose, sawed up, and it has a traditional tin roof on it so that it is waterproof on the inside and the outside because there's so much condensation. This is a very small structure. It's only about 100 square feet inside, but it's only used about a month every year. Over the top of the cupola on top, you can see that there is the smokestack coming up, which has a damper on it because you close off the entire system when it's not in use, so you don't get water down inside. And you can see that the cupola on the roof has screening on both sides, so as the air moves across from one side to the other, it draws the steam out. That's the traditional form. That's the form that really originated in the East Coast as far as the shape of a sugar bush is concerned. And the area off to the right where the collection tanks are is in the lowest point in the woods, so that all of the sap flows by gravity in these lines to that tank where we can pump it up and into our collection tank. This is the traditional way to make maple syrup. Today, most of the big producers use oil or natural gas. But original production was all done with wood because there's so much wood available in a maple forest that you can harvest the trees to boil the syrup. So it is a wonderful cyclical process. For us, making maple syrup is about the tradition of making maple syrup and making small batches of very high quality, uniquely flavored syrup. So the process is really, like you said, it's about splitting wood. Yeah. It's about being in the woods in the spring. Yeah. It's about the traditions associated with making maple syrup. Traditions that go back to the beginning of the century on this same group of trees.
And so It's a passion I think you have to inherit, or it has to grow with your human development.
The red color comes from the high concentration of caramel because the sap has rolled around for 16 hours in this pan, so instead of being brown, it ends up having a red hue to it. Isn't that gorgeous? Only in Michigan can you make syrup like this. It's all about Michigan maple syrup.